Thank you for coming out this evening. We've had ourselves a blast over the last week. I am so happy with how we've been able to make this year thus far with only just a few days under our belt. And I'm so happy too to be able to finally experience with this group what Mr. Anderson and I had in high school. 12-hour days, 5 days a week. It was great. So wonderful. And they hung through, you know? You'd be surprised with a lot of kids these days that they can't hang, but these are the best of the best right in front of you. And that's thanks to you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to give you a little bit of a taste about what a football game is going to look like for the first half. And then the second half, we're going to go over the show music that we have been just hammering out throughout the whole week. First, we're going to start with the national anthem. We got a new rendition of that this year, so I hope you enjoy how that sounds. So if you could please stand up, and then once the national anthem is over, you can sit back down, and then Hannah's going to go off with our fight song, followed by one of our stand tunes and a personal favorite of mine. Thank you. just a little curious. Raise your hand if you knew what that fight or that little sand tune was.
Night at the Roxbury.
Absolutely, one of my favorite movies of all time. Give you a little story about how that ended up happening. We had a teacher work day and a football game on the same day. I heard that song when I was having my lunch break, and I was like, God, that'd make for a great sand tune. 2 hours later, I made it, and then they played it that night. Good times. All right, so now we're actually going to get into the show portion that you would see for a competition, and this is probably some of the hardest music that you would actually see for a marching band, especially for this size, would never even attempt it. Your students are absolutely phenomenal as students and have been able to really grasp what has been given to them. You okay? Okay. Now, I want you to keep in mind that a lot of these tunes is not going to be like what you just heard a moment ago. It's not maybe something most of you will know. But raise your hand if you know what anime is. Some of you know it and you wish you didn't. I'm aware. Yeah. Or as my dad likes to call it, Japanimatination. Yeah. So this year's theme is anime intro theme songs, which a lot of them have already seen some of the shows, or some of them, or maybe they got introduced to some of the shows they never knew before. And let me just say, the Japanese are crazy when it comes to some of their rhythms. Just absolutely getting it. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready? Yeah! All right. Now, we got 4 songs for you out of this. And the last one, it's actually more like a college-level professional song. So it's going to be something. All right, hope you enjoy.
残酷な天使のように10年の神話になれ
All right, we've come to the end of our program. Thank you for coming yet again. Now, before we go to play our last song, can we please give them a round of applause for their efforts thus far, which has been phenomenal. Now, can you actually believe that this is 5.5 days worth of work? All of that. In all honesty.
Pure talent.
Yeah. That should go towards the absolute talent that they all have and the absolute love of music that they have. And I hope that when they came home at 9:30 last night and they were drenched in sweat, and I hope that they said, I had a blast today. I really hope. Okay. Before we go off and talk about our last song here, I first need to give a little bit of recognition. First to our color guard instructors. Okay, so we have Michelle and Susan. Thank you. For our percussion techs, we have Ryan and Luke. For our middle school director / co-marching band director, and the man you see just running around all over here, Mr. Anderson. I also want to give some recognition to the fine leadership that we have in our actual band. For our drum major, we have Miss Hannah Ball. For our vice drum majors, we have Carly Hensley and Taylor Connor. And for our captains, we have Ren Treadway, Camelia Peary, and Eris Green. If it was not for those students, you would not have a program. They are a fine example of what leadership is. They are the people who are running some of them sectionals and working, wood shopping, getting the nitty-gritty down. And that is thanks to you all. Thank you again. Now we're going to go off and play our last tune here. This is the toughest tune maybe this school has ever marched in existence. No kidding. What'd you say? The groaning begins. All right. This is a little long, and we're also going to have two soloists come on up. And please, when we get done, give a nice round of applause. And one reminder, because I know exactly what's going to happen when they're done. You're thinking, I'm hungry, and I want to go home, right? So here's just a little 411. Remember, starting next week, practices Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday, Thursday goes all the way, basically until December, until school starts, 3 to 6 on Tuesday and Thursday. Then when school starts, right after school, starting at 5:30, 3:30 to 5:30. Okay, there's just a little information for that. Every student was hand given a piece of paper that has the football schedule on it. If you have not seen that, I would be asking about it tonight. I handed it out Monday. Okay, that should be on the fridge at home, and I also have it on the band's website. If you go to the high school page, you look under clubs and activities, you will find where there's the marching band section, and then there's also a calendar. So you just click on the calendar. I've also sent that in email links. All the students should be able to have it and be able to direct you to it. And I'll gradually start updating that to you. And when we have a competition schedule finalized, I will also put that on a piece of paper and hand it out. Okay? Thank you again, and here's our final tune, Tank. we're going to just take a few minutes so that way we can go clean up, put everything back up into the band room, and they'll be back to being yours. Thank you again for coming.
Thank
You have a
you.
good evening.